watching what's going on. And in England, we've been struggling just to call for a ceasefire, you know. There's been, oh, we'll ask for a pause. We'll ask for a polite pause. You know, like Biden should be saying, listen, mate, if you carry on killing babies, the whole world is going to go to war. Yeah, because right now, from what I've been speaking to my friends from different cultures, they said Turkey's on standby. Turkey said if the killing of babies doesn't stop, they're getting involved. Iran is on standby. America sent aircraft carriers with jets to the 2 different oceans around Israel so that other people can't just pile in. And then obviously some of the countries are trying to do deals just to stop the fighting. Like today, we've got temporary pause. Some hostages have been returned. I mean, the whole thing is like, what's a polite way of saying shit show? Debacle? Mess?
No, it's just a shit show.
All right. Shit show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for me, you know, I can't think of anything, you know, I mean, look, poverty is an issue, but murdering babies and killing children, you know, cutting off fuel and electricity for incubator babies is next level. Yeah. Like, you know, the line's been so far the line has been pushed to what is acceptable or what you can get away with. You know, any of you guys got views on this? 'Cause I think this is the issue of the moment. This is the.
I don't know. I just think like both sides are in the wrong, and both sides are suffering. I'm at that point. I don't have a.
I personally think.
Right. Yeah.
See, it's not a both sides issue. I see one side with a lot of money, a lot of media presence, global presence, with cleverness, just pummeling another side with not a lot of money, you know, into 25 miles by, was it 25 miles by 10 miles or something, I think? Yeah, it's, yeah, I can see a big David and Goliath, you know, big bad wolf versus little version going on here, you know. That's what I can see.
So, another question I wanted to ask you, which was part of the question of the day, is why doesn't the Ummah attack Hamas for what's going on in Palestine? Why are they not attacking Hamas or openly condemning Hamas for what's going on in Palestine?
So you're asking people to condemn another people who've been oppressed for 70 years?
To condemn Hamas for their part they played in that.
No, what they did was bonkers, like proper kamikaze suicide mission. Yeah, what they did was bonkers, 100%. But what was prior to that was 70 years of complete horrendous. I mean, see the way Israel look at it is that the Europeans went into America, genocided the local tribes. In Canada and America, killed about 100 million people, wiped them out, took over their country, and no one said anything about it. So Israel is sort of slightly doing the same thing and saying we can go in there, just take what we want, do what we want. We've got the money, we've got the power. We're going to get away with it. Does that make sense? Same the Spanish did in the Spanish and the Portuguese did in South America. Same the French and the Europeans did in Africa. Just went in there. You know, and it's only been pointed out in the last year that France takes, what's the figure now? Is it 500 billion pound a year from African countries in terms of mineral rights as a consequence of them having left them? Is that right? Does anybody want to correct me on that?
Yeah, what you feel about just letting you get to the end of the
France's industry is Africa. France sells its cars there, the lorries there. France sells everything and then just takes whatever it wants from Africa. And the African countries have to say, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full. And now Niger have said no. what happens is Niger was doing deals with China, and then they've asked Russia to come in, and they've kicked the French out. Now the French are crying about it, trying to shoot their leadership and kick them out. But I think China and Russia are coming in, and now they're selling uranium, which before they were getting, let's just say, I don't know, 20 per, on let's say I don't know, let's say 20,000 per gram or kilogram, and now they're getting 15 times that. Now it's because of they're selling the natural mineral resources themselves. Niger is now fast becoming the richest expanding country in Africa. So it's gone from one of the poorest to now going quickly up the ladder of, turnaround and success, simply because they kicked the French out. Yeah. Mm. And we want to see this all over Africa, want to see this all over the world, that these colonizers, colonizers, they get kicked out of all these foreign countries. Job done.
Yeah, well, I want to answer the question about the Israel-Palestine thing, yeah?
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think what they're trying to do is make Israel run out of ammo.
Wow.
Because if you look what's happening in Ukraine,
yeah,
I mean, there's certain countries telling Ukraine, listen, if we get attacked, how are we meant to defend ourselves? This wasn't meant to be taking that long.
That's right.
I mean,
Ukraine's run out of weapons and they're on the verge of surrendering. Yeah. So they had a peace agreement already. I think it's called the Minsk Accord, which was signed, ready to sort of wrap up. And Boris Johnson flew in there and said, no, we'll give you weapons, carry on the war. That shows you how bad UK and the Tory party are. They can't just leave people alone. Yeah. They had a peace deal, which was a disagreement over an area and communities and people dying. They, Germany got involved, a few other countries got involved, got a peace deal done. It's about to be signed, and Boris Johnson goes in there, extends the war by a year. Now they've run out of weapons.
I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's that old dirty dog trick that's being used to divide and conquer the world, and then set up a system that works for you, where you're comfortable to know what that person's doing millions of miles away, knowing that they're fighting each other and the fight's not on your doorstep, but you still got a hold there. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I personally think. I think that's why the Arab nations are just chill, because it's a one-sided story, obviously, to BBC News. But if you look at other outlets and stuff, there's videos of tanks getting blown up by IDF and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? They could just be bleeding them, man.
Got it. No, you're right. That's one possibility. Is let's sit and see where this goes.
When obviously the world, certain countries rely on aid and rely on certain things to keep their countries rolling. But one thing the Arabs can't do is sell oil to each other. It don't make sense.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, Arabs can't sell oil to each other, yeah. But what they can do is set the market straight.
Wow. So what, under the rules of OPEC, they can't share oil and share resources?
No, I'm saying, why would you, if you've got oil, why would I buy oil off you?
Oh, okay, yeah. So if you've already got it.
All these people that used to be against each other, that never spoke, Qatar, Iran, didn't used to speak to Saudi Arabia. All these big players there are all up on the stage now, coming together. And it's frightening.
Because you know why they didn't speak? They used to all get on. The world used to trade with each other. Yeah, Asia traded with Africa and the Middle East. Everybody traded until the imperialists come along and did divide them all over the world.
Until you get people who create ISIS, and ISIS massacre more Muslims than... Yeah,
that's it. Well, where's ISIS? Where's ISIS today? Where's Al Qaeda today? Where's all these little
this ghosts? Is the thing, my friend, because in Mali, obviously the French, before they got kicked out, they were helping to fight against these jihadists, and they were taking years and years. And obviously they have to then supply guns, and then
Yeah.
you know, the resources that they're paying you for are actually going back to them, because you've got to fight these make-believe people.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
then they
yes.
brought in Wagner Group, and the Wagner wiped
Yeah.
them out within like 6
Yeah.
months.
That's it. Yeah, 100%. Exactly. So see, I can see the world becoming a better place, because now I can see America, which, let's be honest, since 1945, they've been involved in over 60 wars, fake or real. So the French have been involved in these fake situations. So have the British, all to do with colonization and stealing assets and resources of which what they call third world poor countries are really rich in resources. Africa's the richest continent on the planet in terms of resources, you know.
Yeah.
But America is the
Yeah.
poorest because of its debt. Africa's actually technically the richest place in the world because of its resources. But because of manipulation, Africa's made out to be poor when it's actually rich, and America's made out to be rich when it's poor. You know, America's sitting on stolen gold. France is sitting on stolen gold. These imperial power, England, you know, London, is sitting on stolen gold. England never had any
Let me
gold.
ask you something, yeah? Let me ask you something, right?
Yeah.
If you walk into a museum,
yeah,
whose history do you expect to see in the museum?
So all museums in the West.
Now, just answer that question.
Active crime scene. It's a crime scene, isn't it?
No, but like, let's say
looting.
let's say you're from India. Let's say you're from India,
yeah,
and you go to a museum.
Yeah.
What culture do you expect to see in your museum?
So in India, you've actually got Indian artifacts, but in Europe and America, you've got everybody else's stolen. Yeah, stolen, butchered artifacts. So see, they can't even deny it. They can't, because they've got the evidence on display to the public of their butchery and looting. You know, the word loot is an Indian word for thieving, right? To loot is to thieve. Yeah, a looter, well, is a thief, right? And the word loot comes from India. Yeah, so even the word is stolen from another language. Yeah,
well, I blame the Vikings.
You know, our generation are waking up, right?
Our
generation are waking up, and what we're realizing, thanks to the internet, the real history of the world is amazing. You know, the real history of the world, which you normally have to go to the different tribes to go and learn of each tribe, how they were robbed and murdered and massacred, is now appearing on the internet. The real history of the world is appearing now, and the world is waking up. And you can see who the goodies are. Yeah. And especially,
it's a shame that we're living in the nuclear era. That's the one thing, that it's just.
Nini, well, yes, I mean, look, nuclear bombs, you know, if anybody sets one off, everybody dies. So no one's, unless you're a lunatic, no one's going to set off a nuclear bomb because the radiation consequences are just too extreme. Yeah. You know, all the countries in the world have worked out. This is why they're now trying to develop.
So what was it that America dropped?
No, that was then. I mean, look, they dropped.
Yeah, but what was that though? What was it though?
Yeah, that was it's called the A bomb. That was the sort of type of nuclear bomb. And and the consequences of that were so extreme, they themselves have shit themselves and said, you know what? Nobody can ever do this ever again. I mean, you're talking wiping out, you know, whole areas forever and ever, like, you know, disabled kids, cancer, diseases, disabilities, birth defects. You're talking, you know, extreme genocide. You're talking 20 seconds of extreme genocide the world's never known. You know, even to the extent, I mean, you know, they did all this testing in the different oceans, and after that they realized that, you know, nuclear weapons are very, very one way. Yeah, it's decimation. But now So this is why, guess what they're developing now? Biological weapons. Yeah. Let's go on to, this leads us nicely onto, I don't want to discuss it, but COVID,
Yeah,
they've
but nothing
released
beats the psychological weapon. Nothing beats that.
Oh yeah, so the
Psychological
soft,
weapon.
yeah. So
Like,
programming
Walt
TV.
Disney said to that man who created the nuclear bomb, he said, "My creation would be more deadly than yours."
100%,
And quite frankly,
100%.
man,
Yes, 100%. Spot on. Media and distraction is amazing. You know what they've got us to believe, and Malcolm X summed it up. Malcolm X said that there'll come a time where they'll get you to believe that the oppressor is the attacker and the attacker is oppressed, which is what Israel's trying to do right now. Is Israel's pretending to be a victim when all they've done is murder and massacre for 70 years in a row. They've broken every law.
Look, me and you, we both
law.
know, and the whole world knows that NATO and, well, you might as well even say UN, yeah, but NATO will not go into look, they need a place to get in and they need a place to get out. Name a place in the Middle East where they can get in and out and defend themselves. Because don't forget that place there, Israel, as well. It's not just like, look how close it is to the Mediterranean Sea and certain other places. I mean,
it's a desert. Israel's a desert. Yeah, I've been to Israel. It's a desert.
Yeah, but
I can't understand how the Jewish community were offered Australia, a big chunk of Australia. They said no, and they accepted desert land in the Middle East. Talk about
because they need a foot to get in. They need a foot to get in somewhere, man.
Yeah.
Why
so they could have had Australia
a battle
and made it the best place in the world and lived happily ever after, and they chose Israel, and there's been a continuous war for 70 years, which keeps dragging everybody else into it and puts everybody on their toes.
Yeah, and it makes everybody around a region start buying NATO weapons and UN weapons, which is a very clever idea, because then it's just sucking you in it. It's just sucking you into believe.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Well done. So you've seen the bigger game. I didn't see that.
Yeah, obviously, man. I've read the book, The Art of War.
Yeah, you're right. So I missed that bit. I was too busy focusing on what was going on right now to see the bigger picture. But see, buying weapons, what does that do?
Buying weapons aren't cheap. Well,
yeah, so when you buy weapons, you don't feed.
And when your next door neighbour's got a better weapon,
no, but let's look at what.
Then what happens is you want to get that weapon, but then
how do weapon make?
Yeah.
How do weapon makers get to sell weapons?
This is what I'm saying. The sellers are laughing. America, France,
exactly.
UK are laughing.
In any situation, follow the money, man.
Yeah, follow the money. The people who buy it, they lose out because they're not spending on education, on facilities, on welfare, on health services, hospitals, schools.
And remember as well, some of the, which I couldn't even believe, but some of them, some weapons, they expire, don't they?
Yeah.
Not the weapons, but the armory or something, but something expires. So, and I'm sure if you were to look back in future, like, not in future, in the past, sorry, I'm sure you could probably, in fact, let me not even say that, man, because someone's going to say, you're a fucking retard. But yeah, wars are out there to be.
Boris Johnson went to Ukraine because their weapons were going to be out of date in a year. He sent them all weapons that had 6 months life. They've used them all.
There you go.
They've restocked in England. But the Ministry of Defense has restocked all their weapons because they gave all their old ones to Ukraine. Talk about plonkers. America's done the same. America has given all their old weapons to Ukraine, and now they've asked Congress for more money to give them more old weapons, and Congress has refused. Congress said, well, no, actually, we're going to give Israel weapons and money, and we're not going to give any more to Ukraine. That,
There you go.
So
And
is it safe to say that pretty much anything that ever happens on the planet is down to America trying to sell more weapons or control more people?
100%.
No, it's a bit of everyone. Nah,
Well,
the
that's
way I
just
see it-
stupid.
the way I-
That's just
no, the way I
stupid.
see it-
I was
the way I
genuinely
see it-
joking.
the way I see
Who-
it, it's like this.
Who was the guy who said it recently? No, he did it. The band. Who's this guy? Russell Brand. Russell Brand. Russell Brand.
Russell
said
Brand, the comedian, yeah.
The comedian said on an interview with some American host, when you have an industry that continuously has to sell arms, when you've got a country that continuously has to sell XYZ rubbish, whatever, and a media that has to sell news, it means you're a heightened state of alert, and the world is always going to be on edge because that's their industries. That's how they make money. Yeah. So you've got war, this TV rubbish. You've got
I mean,
bioweapons,
look at ISIS. Yeah,
medicines.
ISIS is black, basically like the Black Panthers. The way the media portrayed them is they are against white people and they want to murder white people. But statistics show that they have killed more black people in certain places. Let's just say, like the hub would be like Chicago. And, you know, black people. The Black Panther are murdering. So you know these terrorists are.
So what these people are
it's crazy,
is a reaction.
It's like
they're a reaction. Yeah. But
like
you've got to look at who's causing the problems.
Muslims terrorizing Muslims and then terrorizing.
No, so Iraq, just look at the Iraq war, not 9/11, which you know everybody now the evidence has come out.
Go there,
that was supposed to be Afghanistan, but they started a war on Iraq with fake weapons of mass destruction, killed 1 million people just to make money and get rich, decimated the whole area.
You think they killed 1 million people to make money, and there's no better ways of doing it?
100%. That's what the American
arms industry
do. American arms industry are in the business of murder.
But then what you're saying is that they are basically in control of the world. Like nobody could stop them. The American government has succumbed to them, are beneath them in power. But this is just this is the definition of a retard conspiracy theory. This is the definition of it.
Is this Chillish champion?
That's it. But then they forgot.
You guys
I have
you
like
guys can't
10 minutes.
understand world politics, so you go to this conclusion of America.
You're defending America, yeah?
No,
I'm just saying what you're saying is stupid.
Bro, I don't know. Like, I just seem like we all get out.
Big up, why so religious? So yeah,
Books,
this is the guy.
Intelligentsia scientific method. What do you think
hang
the war was
on.
about?
Why so religious is here? Why so
Defending
religious
America?
is here?
Everyone's
So
starting to
Books,
cry.
why so religious is the guy
I'll tell you what,
that was talking to
the mainstream media
about the topic that you came on about.
Definitely works, man. That's what.
Why so religious is defending America that murdered America that murdered 100 million people.
I didn't know I was defending America.
Mr.
I didn't
Singh,
know
one
that.
second. So the two people you requested earlier are back on the panel, just so you know. So if you wanted to
Okay, is Banksy on there as well?
No,
No,
Banks
not
is not
Banksy.
here.
Sinners
It's just
here
why
and
so religious.
White
This is the
Sarah.
first guy who instigated it. Yeah.
All right, so why so religious? I'm definitely not religious. I'm anti-religion. I'm into
Why are you
spirituality.
Why are you
I'm
Chillish
into the
champion?
5
About
elements.
Sikhism.
5 elements. Yeah. So Sikhism was created by the British. Yeah. And this is a fact because I'm a Sikh. Yeah. It's created by the British. It's an ism. We're not an ism. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
everything you read in English is all made up lies. That's not my faith.
So wait. So your faith is only learnable by one language.
So my faith in its original language is about peace and love and defending life.
So wait, you didn't answer what I asked you. If this is how it's gonna go, this is how it's gonna go. But I only got like 10 minutes, dude. It's like I'm in my garage. It's fucking like 8 degrees outside. So like I want to get to the like crux of this, right? The crux. So was your claim right there that Sikhism or Sikhi, however you want to say it, is only understood in one language?
No, I didn't say that. I said to
saying
you
if I read it in English,
1800s, in Shakespearean English, yeah, some white people wrote a load of bollocks, and they've caused created a religion, and it's
what
all mistranslated.
What he's trying to say,
No, wait. So wait,
but
is
Peter,
it
what
only
his
that?
thing is,
Stop,
that he's
stop, Trillis,
taken
stop,
concept
stop,
of,
stop.
he's
This is your
taken
champion.
extracts of
Let him
Sikhi
talk.
from
A
Let
white
your,
from
man
the
is
Guru
telling
Granth
you
Sahib.
why
let
Triller,
him
don't
talk.
confuse it. Let them
Triller,
interact,
let him
bro.
talk.
Don't
Wait,
confuse
hold
it.
on,
Give
guys.
a bit of
Before we go any
backup.
further,
A bit of backup,
hold on.
right?
Before we go any
He-
further, if I just say this, Scientific's going to moderate this conversation. Triller, shut your fucking
No,
mouth.
thank
You're
you.
not
No,
going to
thank
talk.
you.
So
You're
listen.
Right?
bigoted.
When it comes down
So
to it,
listen.
Bhupinder, one
Can you
second.
moderate them,
Wise,
please?
one
Oh,
second,
one
yeah?
at a time.
I'm trying to,
One
but
at
the
a
two of them need to speak because
Yeah,
they're both grown men. They both speak
Chill out,
language.
then let me finish.
They're
I'm
both
finished.
intelligent. They're both
He takes
intelligent enough
he
to
takes
stand on their own
extracts,
square.
right,
They
from
don't
the
need a
from
retard like
Guru
Triller
from
piping
Guru
in
Granth
with any
Sahib,
kind of
right?
Right,
nonsense.
And he
everybody
Triller,
should
just
be
shut up, man.
interprets
You're
it
irrelevant.
So
his
wait,
own way.
sing,
That's what he likes
I'm
to
Yeah,
gonna,
do.
if
I'll
you're
call you
gonna
sing.
fucking moderate, then don't call people retards, innit? That's a good start,
Sing,
innit?
Well, he's
sing.
not
Let's
listening, innit? He wouldn't let me
dude,
No,
moderate, so
man, have
he's a
okay,
some
retard.
discipline, man.
okay.
If you're
Let's
gonna
follow.
moderate,
Let's
stop
get
Let's
back
calling
on
get
people
back
track.
to the
retards,
Sing,
conversation.
bro.
Well, the
sing,
main thing is we need to get the two of them
is
talking. So you
only
should shut up
is
and not, man.
only is
You,
only
yo,
is
you can't
only
shut up, man. And this is what I
Well, I
mean.
don't know
Like
why
is
you
you've
piped in
got
for
only.
some
no
Oh my
method
gosh,
bullshit
fucking,
dude.
when
Right,
we want
you've
to
listen,
hear
got
the two of them
no.
This is
America.
why it
You
interact.
ain't
can't
worth my
hold
fucking
your.
time
Right,
As a
sometimes,
man
dude.
child, yeah, you
Shut
gotta
up,
white
man.
man
hold
defend
yourself, man.
America.
Suck out,
Listen.
man.
So
Let
You're
sing.
just a
America,
Suck
baby.
man.
You're just a
out, man.
So
crybaby. You're
sing.
just a
Suck
crybaby.
out,
Come
Oh
man.
on.
my gosh.
Suck
Go
out.
on. What's so
Sing.
religious?
Don't
Go ahead.
ever think you can tempt
So
us.
sing.
Yo, brother,
Right,
suck
What I
out.
Well, I
take
told you
from
to
it.
shut up, didn't I? I
Just
told
because
you
you
to
think
shut
you
up, and I
can
said
be a
it again.
little fucking
So
blind,
shut up,
don't go
innit?
past your fucking
right.
place.
Firstly,
Get
let's
me?
not
So
swear.
Suck
listen.
We're
out.
trying to
So
learn
sing.
something.
When you
Why
say,
so
when you
religious
Dickhead,
say,
about
man.
to teach us
stop,
about
Little
dude.
blood
America?
clot
Dude,
thing
you're
on the
not,
panel
dude.
think you're smuddy.
This is why.
Now
This is
suck
why
out, man.
I was just gonna sit in the
Can you
chat
shut
because
up,
I knew,
man?
dude.
People trying to listen to this.
Don't
Fuck off,
respond.
man.
Don't
Right,
respond.
sister,
Either of you,
excuse me,
please.
Dickhead.
sister.
Yeah, and
So
I'm gonna
Sister.
sing.
disrespect you. Fuck
Right,
off.
everybody,
Well, you already did that.
everybody, let's chill.
So okay, just stop responding to each other. So sing. The reason I asked that is because you said if it's translated into English, it's a lie. That's
No,
what you said.
I said it's been mistranslated.
So okay, it's mistranslated. So here's the question: is it only in English that it's been mistranslated, or can I read it in some other language and it be correctly translated?
So if you look at some modern translations by my people, that's correctly translated. If you look at the European mistranslations, then it's all a bit
You
of a
didn't
mess.
answer
It's
my
very,
question. I'm
it's
asking
very
you.
Jesus
So
Christ.
so essentially, you said
You are the
your
sinner.
people.
You're
So
suffering
no, wait.
in the name
So
of God.
essentially, so
Oh
I
my
put
God,
it this
Jesus
way.
Christ, Jesus Christ.
So you're just throwing that you don't even know what translation I read. You don't know if it's like authenticated by your quote unquote
No, I
people.
already know because
So
I've
stop,
got knowledge of
dude.
scripture.
This is why,
So
dude.
you're
This
an
is why.
American. So
No,
look,
stop.
you're an American. I'm not going to say 50% of everything you
Dude,
say is a
stop.
lie.
No, dude, stop.
80%
That's the
of
thing.
everything you say is a
All
lie.
you're doing is making a non sequitur, right? You're saying that it has to be translated from a person that you agree with their translation, which is fine.
No,
You know,
I'm
throw a
saying
list.
my history
Stop,
is by my
stop,
people.
bro.
My
Stop, bro.
scriptures is from my people,
Bro,
not you.
I know it's hard for
not
you to
your
control
ancestors.
yourself.
Exactly. Why?
I'm
So
not going to take lectures
Dude,
from
I
a
know it's
human
hard
that
for
literally
you to control
murdered,
interpreted it
yourself.
that mass
to be
murdered
Triller,
whatever
stay
your
out of it,
everybody
bro.
for
interpretation was.
Triller,
400
just stay
years.
out of it, bro.
Scientific
He's
method, stay out of it,
For
please. Yeah.
400 years of
Your
slavery.
interpretation was
Your
totally
ancestors are
different.
murderers.
Dude, that
yeah?
has nothing to do
I'm
with the
not
book's
respecting
translation.
murderers
What are
for
you talking about?
translating.
You're
Dude,
translating
what are
hang
you
on.
translation.
Hey,
You want
Right.
Books,
to
he's
go
only
into
Books.
it?
He's
Let's
trying
go
to
Right.
ask
into it.
you,
Scientific
Your
Books. What he's
murderers
trying
have
to ask you,
translated some of our scriptures.
Books. What he's trying to ask you,
Translation.
Books. What he's trying to ask you is, can your scripture be interpreted correctly in one language or many languages? Simple as that.
In many languages, correctly translated by our people
So then,
from the
so then,
original text.
Yeah, but what are the
So
rules?
then,
What are
no,
the
wait,
rules?
wait,
How
wait,
does
wait, wait,
somebody
wait,
know
wait,
how
wait.
to do that?
Sing. No, stop. Scientific.
Yeah.
Sing. So here's the
So the
question.
rule is don't
What
be a Christian
sing? So here's the
evangelist
question.
trying to
So
convert
sing.
people to
So
Christianity.
sing. Here's the
That's
question.
the first rule.
When you say your people, are you
Yeah.
speaking about Punjabis or are you speaking about Sikhs?
I'm talking about you as an American. You're
I'm talking.
probably
Stay focused.
you've
When
got
you're
an
talking
American
about
accent.
your translation, when you're
Yeah.
talking about an authentic translation, and it has to be from your people, are you saying from Punjabis or from Sikhs? Because there could be Western Sikhs that actually are, not Punjabi, that have learned the language. Would you accept their translations? Yes or no? Or are they
how
not?
many Western white scholars do you know that
I ain't answering a fucking question, bro.
Yeah, how many
You
do you
ain't
know?
answer. It doesn't matter how many I know.
So you don't know any.
No, I'm talking about
you're
your
making shit up.
position. No,
Stop
I'm
making stuff up.
That's
Let's
not making
talk about
stuff
reality.
up. That's not making stuff up.
Let's go
no,
for
dude.
the
It's
truth
attacking your
shall set you
position.
free.
Do
Let's
you
talk about the truth.
understand?
The
Do
whole
you
truth,
understand?
nothing
I'm not
but
a
the truth.
Christian, so why do you keep quoting the fucking Bible to me, dude? Shut the
Okay.
fuck up and pay attention.
So are you
Listen,
American though? Are you
listen,
American? Are you
listen.
American?
When you
You American.
say, you say it has to be translated from one of your people, I'm asking you, are you saying your people are Punjab, or are you saying your people as in Sikh?
So I'm talking about learned scholars with a lot of knowledge and experience and first-hand connection to the original
So then they don't
scriptures,
even. So then
original people.
actually, by that stance, they don't have to be Punjab or Sikh, because a scholar can. The person can be a scholar in a religion, a theology, a belief system, and not believe that system. Correct?
It was very hard to translate something you don't
I'm
understand.
asking you, dude. I'm asking you yes or no questions that
Or
are very
interpret.
simple.
Or interpret.
I'm
Or
asking
interpret.
you by
had
your stance,
neither of
dude.
them.
By
You're
what you
an
just
expert
said,
of
by what you
Bible.
just said, by what you just said, a person can be outside of your quote unquote people because they are a scholar that knows the religious text, knows the history, knows the language, but they don't believe in it, and they should be able to adequately,
So
if
are you
not
talking about
sufficiently.
Are you talking about Chat GPT now?
Oh my gosh, this guy's a
No,
fucking
he's saying
retard,
another
bro.
human being. He's saying another human being who may not be
All right,
Sikh,
so-
who may not be Punjabi. If they are a scholar and they've studied the
Okay,
Sikhism
great,
religion
excellent,
for 40
excellent. Why
years,
so? Are
they
you
should
one
be,
of
and
them?
they've studied the language that is written in the original scriptures, and
Okay.
they've converted to Sikhism, but
Yeah.
or they have a different interpretation, or maybe they've left Sikhism. Can they still validly interpret it?
So
Wow.
that person at the moment doesn't exist, but in the future, if that person existed,
Exactly.
I would then respect
No,
that
exactly.
person.
So why so? Have you got anybody? Because I asked you to source somebody, and you haven't
He
brought
hasn't got
This
anybody.
guy
anybody.
just claimed.
You
This
got
guy just
nobody.
claimed that there
You
isn't a
interpreted
scholar.
it your
This
way.
guy just
Why so
You have
claimed.
religious
no
is still
other.
a
So
He
wait,
just
are you
claimed-
saying that all scholars have
Why
the
so
exact same
religious is full of
interpretation?
shit?
There's no dispute. Has there never been any dispute in any field of Sikhism or any sect or any branch of or anything? Like every single scholar or every single believer believes exactly the same version of it. Are you serious?
No. Not only that, he just claimed that there's not such person that is a scholar
moment,
in Sikhism.
The
that is
person
a
you're
scholar
talking
in
about doesn't
Sikhism
exist.
that doesn't believe in
Thank
Sikhism.
Thank you.
No, I didn't
And
say
you have
that.
brought one up here. Why
No,
so
no.
religious,
Listen,
right?
look, again, Mr.
That.
America, twisting everything, because he's American, he's used to twisting shit.
You haven't
And
answered
talking
one
shit.
fucking question.
Now you're
What the
talking to
fuck are
somebody
you
in
talking
England who's
about?
educated, who's
All
from a
right. Why so
global
religious?
background.
Let's
listen,
let him
Mr.
explain it his
Why
way.
so
Let's
religious?
just
Up
hear it
your
out.
game. Don't be an
Books,
arsehole.
explain it.
Be
Explain what you
intelligent.
mean. Books,
Yeah?
explain what
So
you
he's
mean in your
talking
own
about
words.
a hypothetical situation that hasn't happened.
Hypothetical.
When it happens, come to me with the scholar.
Yeah, but is it possible as a hypothetical? Is it possible?
So,
that could happen?
I've met about 20 fake Western scholars that are fake, that pretend they know something and actually they don't. And I've debated them and ripped
What's the
them
definition?
apart.
How do you define them to be fake? Because that they disagree.
So they basically get qualifications, pretend they've studied something for 5-10 years, pretend they're an expert, and then make shit up.
Yeah, but then what's the criteria?
So
but then
what
what's
I've
the
done is,
criteria? Obviously,
I've got
being an
the
expert
original scripture.
is
I'll
not
give you an
is not the
example.
criteria.
Somebody
The criteria is something
some-
else now, isn't
listen,
it?
Wait. Some American idiot was claiming to be a Sikh scholar, and he come to SOAS, which is the School of Oriental and African Studies in London, and came to do a talk. Thankfully, one of my mates told me about it. He was a student at SOAS. So we went along, listened to his talk nice and quietly. Question and answer session came. They asked a few nice, polite questions. The young academic caught him out on a couple of technical points. And then I asked him a couple of questions. And then he said to me, oh, this person doesn't exist. And this person I researched. I said, yeah, because you were trying to murder us. As the white British, you were out to kill and genocide.
Dude, none of that is
Well,
argument.
underground. So you don't know about my history because we hid
okay,
it from...
let's focus up. Let's focus
So,
up.
Yeah, but if he had
Mr.
agreed with you, if he had hang on, if he had agreed with you, all that would have been irrelevant. If he had agreed with you, the fact that he's not from your history would have been irrelevant.
No, not at
Let's
all.
focus.
When you're
let's
making
focus on
stuff
this.
up,
Let's
if I
focus
say
on
to
this.
you, Jesus
Just
was a
Sikhism.
Chinese man that was 8 foot tall and had pink fluffy hair, you would say to me, what is your source?
Dude,
And where did you come
retardation
from
must be like a
research?
Sikhism thing because you sound just like fucking Trilla, bro. So listen.
No. So I'm
let's
firstly, I'm
focus
better
on
looking.
Sikhism.
I'm much
Let's
better
focus
looking
on-
than Triller.
Let's
Let me
focus
clarify.
on Sikhism.
Secondly, I'm much more educated than Triller.
So
Thirdly,
firstly, You
I'm
don't
much more
know.
worldly
You don't.
traveled than Triller,
So
and
why?
I come across a lot more idiots than Triller.
So here's the
Nah, I
question.
believed you up
Wait,
until you said you found a bigger idiot than Triller.
So listen,
This is
let's focus
funny.
on something here. Let's focus on something here. Where do
Okay.
you get off assuming that my translation that I read isn't from one of the people that you accept a proper translation from?
So
Because
the
it's
fact
not like
that you started
wait, stop,
not in a need to discuss something and learn something.
dude.
Wait, Bobs,
But
let
remember
him lay out his question, bro.
You've got to allow him to complete his full
All
thought.
right,
Yeah,
all
then
right.
you can
Come on, why so
let
religious? Carry on.
Wiseau go. Let him go.
Isn't it presumptuous
Go on.
that when the first thing I mention about Sikhism and you say, I'm not going to accept it because you're a Westerner, you're white, you don't even know my fucking race. But anyways, so you say, oh, well, you know, you're not reading one from our people. You have no evidence. You haven't listed any of
Can we
the
say the
accepted.
indigenous
Stop,
people
stop,
of
dude.
Punjab,
Stop, dude.
North India,
You have not
who
listed
are Sikh?
any. You have not listed any qualified people by your own standard that could say that yes, I've read that or I
Brother,
haven't read that.
I haven't even started discussing.
Do you understand that?
And the
Do you
problem
understand that you came from a presuppositional position that no matter what I read, it is incorrect because you even said, and this is, we'll back up the tape if we have to.
You've come
were
from an
saying that,
attitude.
oh my
You've come
gosh,
from
dude,
an
you are unfucking bearable,
of
dude.
mocking. Yeah, you've come from a divisory. Oh, let me see, show him how clever I am with my use of language. And let me just tell you, your use of English is quite frankly shit. Yeah, but anyway,
How does that matter, dude? What the
come
fuck are you
along-
talking about?
you come along in a very negative way, rather than say, oh, let's have a discussion. Earlier on, we were discussing stuff. Yeah, we were all discussing, and the main topic was Palestine.
Yeah, but I'm the one that Triller went to the fucking street and found some guy with a beard and a turban to be like, hey, come on YouTube. None of these other people were the ones that Triller was like, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker for burning a goddamn book.
Wait, so
What the
your
fuck are you
sound,
talking about?
your sound is becoming like a Dalek. Have you got a problem with your speaker or your mic? It's coming across like a Dalek.
Dude, the reason they stopped the conversation is because I'm the one that the death threats were towards because of a book, of a person in Sikhism claiming that burning a book is the equivalent to killing a person, and therefore it's justified to threaten me and kill me. So now you haven't addressed, you really
Yeah,
quick,
that's
you
what I thought
haven't
you was going to
addressed,
talk about.
dude, you haven't addressed anything about Sikhism. All you said is, oh, this guy's Westerner, this guy's a Westerner, this guy believes in lies. Something about me talking good about America and the Iraq War, some bullshit right when I got on. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Stay on topic or get the fuck off the panel.
You know what it is? We want to know, like, we're not going to listen to Triller. Triller's a fucking
Hey, why
idiot.
so? I
He
think your mic is doing something.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, Wiseau. But yeah, Triller's an
Because I
idiot. We're not
muted
going to
up.
listen to Triller, right? But we're asking you, even if Wiseau was to have done that, performed that act here and burnt the book, is that an equivalent of him getting his life and put out jeopardy?
Pops, you want to try and mute up? Maybe it's yours.
Is it me?
Somebody's got a bad mic. It's interfering, so I can't hear anybody properly.
It might be me. Sorry.
Somebody's got a bad mic. Let's all switch our mics off and switch them back on again.
Dude, I came on here to speak about Sikhism. All you've done is say...
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. It's like...
You know what? I think it's definitely one of you two, but I'm not sure which one. Bobs, mute your one. I think it's your one, actually, Bobs, because it's still going while he's gone.
Oh, okay. So I can't hear... hold on.
But for some reason, when you speak, it doesn't happen. But when you've got your mic open and someone else speaks, then it happens.
So I'll put my mic back on. So one person talk.
All right. Yeah. It seems to have gone away now. No, it's back. It's back. It is your mic. It's something to do with your mic when it's on. Maybe when you speak, unmute. But then when you're not speaking, just mute up.
Yeah. So far the last two people have spoken.
I can't listen. You lot. I'm going to bed now, man. I've got work in the morning as well, still. So Yeah, I got to go to bed, man.
All right,
Big wake
you have a
up
good night, Billy.
into this year. Back tomorrow, man. Well, not tomorrow.
sorry,
Back Monday.
Val.
Back Monday.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it's
big
getting
up.
interesting because I wanted to get to the meat of the conversation, which is I want to speak to
Yeah,
somebody,
we can
not
get to it
Triller.
still, but
Yeah, I just wanted to
we'll
ask
get
him
to
that. Does he think that's
we
acceptable
can get
though
to it next time.
to take a life? When we come back, can we discuss like, is it acceptable to take a life? Is a life worth a book, a scripture that is just a belief? It's not factual. No one can prove anyone's scriptures are correct and exact, and it is what's to come. All we're saying is people believe in it, right? So is it acceptable for a belief to be held more higher than a life? That's what the conversation should be the next time we come back.
I'm not going to engage with the guy that his whole thing is Westerner, white man, my people, and then be like, oh, well, everything you read in English is a lie, and then accept it from my people. And he doesn't even know who I've read. It's fucking like, that's y'all's champion. I hope Trilla, I hope Raj wasn't going to get somebody better than that. For like your sake, I hope that Raj planned on getting somebody worse than that. So that at least it seems like, oh, well, Trilla knows somebody who can talk, but obviously he can't. Like, it's fucking retarded, bro. I tried to stay on topic that whole time, and it just that dude would not accept any topic at all. Like, fucking Sikhism, you're losing, my guy. You're Sikhs, you're losing. Period. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how you get the Muslims out of the Punjab at this point. Like, how the fuck did that even happen? With the people that I see on
click
here.
up G block and everyone hit the like.
Yeah.
Everyone hit the like. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll continue this on because I'm not gonna get off this. Like, I want to understand.
Big up, man. I need to go to sleep, man.
Big up.
Yeah, big up everyone, man. Peace out. Peace.
Big up yourself, Science, Soul Sat Y, so I said Lady V, big up Whoop, Soul Sat, Triller, big up Nines, who else jumped on? Ultra Funky, who else jumped on today? Yeah, big up everyone that jumped on the panel anyway. Super big up to everyone that done a super chat today. Much appreciated, thank you. Big up to everyone that made a comment in the chat section today. Big up to you lots. Big up to everyone that slapped the like button without being prompt. Yeah, big up to everyone that slapped it after being prompt. Big up to you. Yeah, small up to anyone that hit the dislike button. Yeah, one love upon you. Yeah, big up the thumbs up massive, man. Yeah, big up yourselves, man. All right, let's go. Raving in it, man. You know how we do. So rave up the place, is it? God damn. God damn.
Outside of London, that's all the something. It's cheap here. It's cheap. Manchester here. Honestly. Sometimes I'm looking at my turbulence market. Don't worry about the sweetheart. That's not big of a seat. That's not big of a something for me. What's that? We must have a good time. You're the reason. And for no other reason. What do you feel like? Right now, he ain't to play around. That's right, man. Let the music take control, ladies. Let the music take control. Where's the champagne and shots? I want to feel like. Take time, man. Take time. Shout to the people that put their arms fly, put their arms over the business. I'm running with set. 2023 with a baby. It's disgusting. Remember, without faith, it's disgusting. Trust me. Say it daily. Let's go. How you want money right now? Back to the air, you want money right now. 419, you want money right now. If you're on this tree, money right now. And to the air, money right now. 419, money right now. On this tree, oh, show me the one finger. Not the third finger, one finger. One finger down. One finger down. One finger down. I'm just giving one finger down. Finger down. One finger down. I want some energy. On the right street. And there's all of that going on. Yeah? Shameless plug, you're right. Don't forget www.social.co.uk. And don't forget on the Instagram, I raved in the park. Yeah, raved in the park. You're outside, Let's go. Show me the hands! Show me the hands! Come on! Let's go! Let's go!
At my first job, I had a colleague named Molly. She was a sweet, kind woman. No matter how tough the situation was, she would always manage to make people smile. Back then, I was looking for an apartment when I asked Molly. She said she had rented one of her rooms to a guy and she lives in the other one. But then she suggested me something.
You know what? Come live with me for a couple of days, till you find a good house. I'll do all the arrangements.
Honestly, being the small-town girl in a big city did scare me about safety. So I happily agreed to stay at Molly's for a few days. And this is where the story begins. Molly's house was two-story, but the upstairs needed repair, so no one used that area. The downstairs had 2 bedrooms. The big one was Molly's, and the other one belonged to a man named JP. The first time I saw JP was the day I moved in. Molly and I were arranging my bed in the living room when I saw JP walk into the apartment. He looked weird. His hair was overgrown, and in the scorching summer, he wore this brown pullover with black jeans. At first, he didn't see us, but once he turned his head hearing the sound from the living room, I got a look at his full face. He had a scar in his left eye that extended from his forehead to his left cheek. His pale green eyes gave me the creeps. "Hello, Molly. Everything all right?"
Oh, yeah. JP, this is my friend Amara, and she's going to crash here for a couple of days.
JP looked at me with a blank face. To get rid of the awkward silence, I spoke.
Hope that's fine with you? I'm actually looking for a...
He stormed out to his room, slamming the door loudly behind him.
What the? That's strange. He's pretty friendly with me. Seriously, Molly? How can you even trust a guy like that, let alone make him your roommate? Oh, come on. I have training in karate. I can take care of myself better than you.
Molly started joking to lighten up my mood, and I shrugged it off eventually. But the more days passed, the more my suspicion grew about JP. As I slept in the living room, I had a full view of the apartment at night. Molly was always a deep sleeper, so she hardly came out of her room, but JP, I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. Often at night, I would wake up hearing footsteps in the kitchen, and my drowsy eyes would find JP standing near the kitchen sink washing something. I tried to lay still just to watch what he was up to, but all he did was wash something in the kitchen, put it in a plastic bag, and then go back to his room. I didn't tell Molly about this as I wanted to get more clarity. One night, I stayed awake waiting for JP to come out of his room. After hours of waiting, I heard a subtle click of a door. The hair all over my body stood straight up in anxiety. He's coming. He's coming now. Low thudding footsteps went to the kitchen and stopped. The faucet started running and I could smell bleach in the air. I slowly tilted my head to look at the kitchen. Why are you awake so late? I thought you always slept by 11. Is anything troubling you? I was numb with fear of having his wide, hawk-like eyes running on me. I could barely speak. My voice died down my throat. JP then hunched down to the floor, bringing his face right next to me. His filthy, warm breath touched my face, but I couldn't move away in disgust. I was that scared. My body was frozen. You should try to get some sleep, okay? He then leaned onto my face and kissed me on the forehead, which almost gave me a heart attack. And then we went back to the kitchen.
But it's all your assumption, Amara. You may be wrong, right? I'm definite that JP is mental. That guy can be a killer and no one will know it. I'm telling you, the way he...
Good morning, girls. What are you guys talking about? I got quiet as soon as I saw JP. Molly looked at me and then asked him.
Do you use the kitchen at night?
JP's creepy smile changed into a scary frown. Why? Does that bother your friend?
No, JP. That's not what I meant. What do you do in the kitchen at night anyway?
Nothing. Just wash my clothes.
But you have a bathroom for that. We eat in the kitchen.
JP gave me a creepy smile and replied, Fine, I won't do it again. He grabbed the keys from the table and left the apartment without saying anything more. As soon as he left, I ran to Molly's room.
Amara? Wait, what are you doing?
I grabbed a bobby pin from Molly's jewelry box and walked straight to JP's room. Molly came rushing and grabbed my hand.
Amara! He's my roommate, and as an owner, I can't let you ruin his privacy. I'm telling you, he's hiding something, Molly. He's not what he seems.
But Molly didn't listen to me. Her trust in JP was so blind that she totally disregarded my words. We ended up having a fight and I left her apartment. I changed jobs as well to stay close to my family. And 6 months went by. One day, I got 2 officers visiting me at my house. They were asking questions about Molly. Her family filed a missing persons report 3 months back. The cops were searching for her, and 2 days back they found her. She was lying dead under a bridge. Her body was discovered in such a decomposed condition that it was hard to tell the cause of her death. Tears rolled down my eyes hearing this, and then JP's creepy smiling face flashed in front of my eyes. But before I could tell the cops about him, the cops said they were suspecting Molly's roommate. JP eventually went to jail on the charge of second-degree murder. But what's even more scarier is the fact that after Molly went missing, JP was the one who called her parents and insisted they file the missing persons report. The story you just saw is loosely based on the tragic death of Maribel Ramos, a 36-year-old Iraq war veteran. Maribel lived in an apartment in Orange, California, with her roommate Kwang Choi, known as KC Joy. On May 3, 2013, Casey called the cops saying Maribel hadn't come home for days. Her family reported her missing based on Casey's phone call. On May 17, 2013, the police searched a remote area in Majeska Canyon, California, and found Maribel's body in a shallow grave. The remains of her body were too decomposed to confirm the cause of death. Her boyfriend, Paul Lopez, told the authorities that Maribel had gotten into an argument with Casey about not paying rent, and she wanted him out of her place. When questioned by the police, Casey admitted to arguing with Maribel but denied all the accusations. The authorities had no evidence connecting Casey with her disappearance. However, the police noted that he had scratches on his arm. The cops also found a 911 call recording of Maribel talking about her roommate's scary behavior. The call was made 11 days prior to her death. During the trial, Casey came up with a totally different story. He said when he came home, he already found Maribel's body. He claims he thought she killed herself, and out of fear of being suspected as a murderer, he drove away the suspicion by dumping her body under that bridge. Casey Joy was eventually found guilty of second-degree murder. In September 2014, Casey was sentenced to 15 years to life.
I have had too many cocktails with my friends tonight. When my vision started to blur from the intoxication, I decided to stop and go home. Everyone uses Uber, right? So even after my friends insisted on dropping me home, I refused and ordered an Uber. I just wanted to go home. My app dinged with the name James. I love that they let you know the name of the person picking you up. It makes you feel like you have a sense of familiarity with the person. I could barely stand when the black car pulled right next to me.
Oh, thank God.
I jumped in the back, buckled up, and we set off to my destination. Before the car started, I heard the locks click and didn't think much of it. Water bottles were placed in a cooler pack in the middle seat, along with a tray of snacks consisting of granola bars, Jolly Ranchers, etc. I loved it when the drivers did this. I would give them 5 stars, especially after a night of drinking. Those water bottles were a godsend. I dug through the pile of snacks and tossed a candy in my mouth.
Hey, James. Do you have any good tunes?
He didn't respond. Indeed, he heard me, or maybe I was drunk and slurring. I piped up again, this time louder after clearing my throat.
James, excuse me.
He looked at me through the rearview mirror. Sure, he answered in a cold way and turned on the music. James finally began to speak up after a few minutes of awkward silence. You been drinking tonight? I looked out the side window and replied.
Yeah, just a few drinks.
Now his eyes were stuck on the rearview mirror. One hand was on the steering wheel as he kept us steady on the road. I could tell that he was trying to catch glimpses of me without me noticing. He spoke up again, this time with a grin. What did you drink tonight? Bored with the dragging of the ride, I figured this was innocent small talk.
Well, some beers and a few shots of you-know-what.
He sat up in his seat, one arm still on the wheel. Those deep brown eyes kept flickering at me in the rearview mirror almost every couple of seconds. He started to pry. You drink tequila often? I casually replied while I kept my eyes out the window.
Sometimes. Depends on my mood.
He laughed. So you must be feeling drowsy, huh? Now I started to feel uncomfortable. Why was he questioning my level of coherence? I kept my eyes focused out the window because I was getting creeped out.
Nope. Just a little relaxed.
He kept a tight-lipped smile and then spoke. You want to be drunk, though? I have a bottle of tequila back there. I stared at my phone. Just 5 minutes more till I was home.
No thanks. I'm actually good.
He had both hands on the steering wheel now, gripping it tight and rubbing his hands against the leather. This nervous feeling rose in my gut, and I know they say never to ignore your gut feelings, but I was already in the car with this guy. I was a few minutes from my house. What was I supposed to do? I sat there and kept my eyes glued to the window. Perhaps he would just get me home without suggesting anything inappropriate if I didn't show any interest in conversing with him. Whatever I was doing seemed to work, because he changed his tune through his following response. So you're done partying for the night, huh? Responsible. I let out a short chuckle and agreed with him. I was being responsible. He piped up again, this time more friendly than before and less interrogating. Well, help yourself to the water. I have plenty. My heart started to slow, and I realized that he was just trying to earn that 5-star review by being accommodating. He may be trying to be excellent.